Yeah, so we just pulled up in southwest Calgary here out in Rodeo Ridge out by Springbank Links Golf Course. It's about April 7th here, and we're getting started with our first lighting install of the year. So we're just going to do some real simple stuff here. I'll kind of walk you guys through it just on the front of the house here. So again, it doesn't have to be 30 lights to make it look good. We're going to use probably about 6 to 8 lights here and really make it look good. Again, just out here at Rodeo Ridge, just opening up a couple of the FX up lights that we're going to use here. So you can see, this is the exact same lights that you're going to find in your do-it-yourself kits, but you're going to find a 6-inch ground stake that the light's going to go on, and then the actual fixture here. All right, so again, really good quality, and we're just going to pop the LED bulb in there. So now we're going to open up our path light, show you what you're going to find inside here in your do-it-yourself kits. So you're going to find your path light, as well as your 8-inch ground stake. They make these a little bit longer just to give it a little bit more stability in the ground. Okay, so here we are out in Springbank in southwest Calgary, just doing our first landscape lighting install of the season. So, you know, whether you hire us to come and do it for you or you're going to do it on your own, here's the steps that I would recommend. So, you know, firstly, the first thing that we've just done here is we've unpacked all our lights and have assembled those, and show you a quick video on how you can do that, and basically laid them out. So that's kind of the first step. Again, you don't need a million lights. We've got 6 lights here. We're going to do a really good job, so I'll walk you through what the next step is after you've kind of laid that out and how to plan it. Okay, so our next step, once we've got our lights assembled here, we're actually going to look at where we're going to place those. So first thing we're going to look at is a couple of the uplights that you see there. We kind of want to highlight this front rock with the address on it, as well as get some of those bushes in the background. And then the second thing we're going to do in this little front area is we're going to highlight this tree. Obviously there's not much there right now, but once the foliage kicks in, it's going to look really good, as well as give us some reflection back down on some of the bushes that are below. The next area we're going to focus on is the front of the house here. What we're going to try and do is we're going to get some light up on the siding, where the wood is up top there, and try and get it up to the peaks and really highlight this front area, as well as we're just going to place 2 path lights to get a little bit of bounce and reflection off these 2 big rocks that you see here. So we're going to use a combination of 2 uplights and 2 path lights in this simple little area. So now we're going to go and actually place those lights and see how they look. Steps here when first setting out the light is usually we'll dig a small hole roughly where I think I want it to be. And I usually take the ground stake off so we can make sure we get it in there good. I'll place it, and then I'll use my rubber mallet to actually get it down there so it's nice and sturdy. Try and keep it as straight as possible, and then from there, actually we'll screw my light on. And then the last step is to kind of make some rough adjustments on roughly where I want to have that light pointing. So we'll just screw that down, adjust it, and tighten it up. So again, this is just the first preliminary step. We're going to get everything a little bit more accurate. There, so we've just gone and placed our lights. We haven't buried anything yet because we're going to wire those up, make sure everything's working, and make final adjustments before we go and completely bury those. But just to get them placed and angled roughly where we want to put them so that we get the effect that we want. Yeah, so the next step after we've got the fixtures kind of roughly in place is I like to lay out all the wire that we're going to need going to every fixture and then up to the transformer, because the next step that we're going to do is get the wires hooked up, power them on, make sure everything's working, and then from there we're going to bury and finalize everything. Okay, so here I'm just going to show you how we make our wiring connections with our waterproof connectors. So first thing, we got 2 wires coming from our fixture. We're going to separate those, and then we've got our 12-2 low voltage wire that we're going to just splice that. And these water connections or waterproof connectors are really easy to use, and you know, they provide good hold, but basically look like this. They open up. Get one that's already open. They open up like so. They've got a couple slots for the wires there, and basically all you do is one wire from the fixture, just twist that up nice and tight, put it into the smaller port, and then do the same with one of your 12-2 wires. Throw that into one of the larger ports, and then that just snaps nice and tight and creates a nice secure connection. So you do that again for the other one. Open that up. Just give those a little twist. Big wire goes into the bigger port. Small wire slides into this smaller port. And then we just close that up, snap it tight, and there you go. And then we're gonna bury that down by the fixture and bury that up. Okay, so here's our Kichler transformer that we're going to use for this project. Again, same one you'll find in your do-it-yourself kits. A couple functions on the front. You can see there's a photocell there that's going to turn the lights on and off automatically with dawn and dusk. You can also set it with this switch to just always be on. Auto basically will do whatever this photocell tells it, and you can tell it to go turn off after 4, 6, or 8 hours after it's been on. So quick overview of our Kichler transformer. Hooking up is real simple. If you turn it around back, you'll see there's 2 ports, and basically you take your 12-2 wire, you unscrew these screws, loosen them off, put your wires in, tighten them back up, and that is basically. So we've gone and we've wired all our lights, and I've hooked up the wire to the transformer. I haven't hung anything yet, and I basically just turned it into the on position because now I just want to go and test and make sure that all of my lights are working before we do any burying. So I'm going to walk around and we're just going to double check that all the lights are working. And then what I would recommend from here is not burying anything yet. What I would do is leave it overnight and have a look at how things look at night. We're going to come back later and see how everything looks, make sure all the lights are pointed where we want them, make any final adjustments from there, and then we're going to come back tomorrow and we're going to bury all the wire and bury all the connections. Okay, so we're basically just burying the last of the wire now. So all we use is a flat shovel and just cut a little trench, slide the wire in, and then basically clean it up and stomp it down, and you can barely even notice anybody was there. So very easy to get the wire in the ground. It's direct burial, low voltage wire, so there's no danger. Even if you did hit it, no one's gonna get hurt. But you do want to try and get it down there 6 to 8 inches.